The automotive world has a very clear pecking order. Germany builds luxury cars, America builds the muscle, Italy builds the drama, and Japan? Japan was supposed to build the reliable ones, the safe ones, the sensible ones. But somewhere along the way, Japan stopped playing by those rules. One by one, Japanese manufacturers started releasing cars so good, so fast, and so embarrassingly affordable that rivals had no choice but to rethink everything. Most automakers panicked. Engineers went back to the drawing board, and car lovers everywhere started paying very close attention. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will completely understand why. 1. The Nissan GT-RR 35 Nismo. In 2007, Porsche and Ferrari owned the supercar conversation. Then Nissan released a car that cost half as much and beat both of them around a track. There was no warning. Nissan just dropped this on them. The GT-RR 35 Nismo ran on a hand-assembled 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6, built by a single craftsman called a Takumi, with each engine signed with a personal aluminum plate. In Nismo form, it produced 600 horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. That was Porsche 911 turbo territory at a fraction of the price. And as much as they pretended not to, Porsche noticed. But it got worse because the engine could handle 1,000 horsepower on stock internals. Tuners worldwide discovered this fast, and a global aftermarket community built itself almost entirely around the GTR platform, pulling buyers away from more expensive European alternatives. The records kept piling. In January 2024, driver Tsugio Matsuda lapped Tsukuba Circuit in 59.078 seconds, breaking his own previous record in the same car. The GTR kept improving for 18 consecutive years until August 2025, when the final unit rolled off the Tochigi production line. The final edition sold out before most people even heard it was available. And now, Nissan's Hyperforce concept is sitting in showrooms, hinting at an electric successor. But that was just the start, because Honda was about to do something at Germany's most sacred racetrack that nobody in Europe has fully recovered from. 2. The Honda Civic Type RFL5. The Nürburgring Nordschleife is where reputations are made. These 13 miles of unforgiving German road is where manufacturers come to prove their cars are the best on the planet. Ferrari goes there, Lamborghini goes there, Porsche practically lives there. Then, in April 2023, something very interesting happened. Honda sent a Civic, the FL5. Civic Type R posted a lap time of 7 minutes and 44.881 seconds. And just like that, it became the fastest front-wheel drive production car ever around that circuit. The record had belonged to Renault's Megane Trophy R. Since 2019, a car built with one specific purpose: own that record. Honda took it with a car that still had a boot and a back seat. The FL5 produced 315 horsepower from a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and came standard with adaptive dampers, a limited slip differential, and a 6-speed manual. It also featured Honda's Log-R system, a built-in data logger that tracked lap times and performance metrics directly through the infotainment screen. Track day capability came included in the purchase price. Now, here's the part that stings. In June 2025, European emissions regulations forced Honda to pull the FL5 from sale on the continent entirely. A farewell Ultimate Edition, just 40 units, marked the exit. Every existing FL5 became a collector's car overnight. The record still stands, and Honda did not even try to hold on to it. The regulations did the job for them. Honda did it again with a front-wheel drive hatchback, but that was not even close to their most ambitious move. A few years earlier, they had walked into Ferrari's territory altogether and brought receipts. 3. The Honda NSX NC1. Ferrari's 488 GTB launched in 2015 with 661 horsepower, a mid-mounted V8, and a 6-figure price tag that assumed buyers had no alternatives. Then Honda released the NSX NC1 in 2016, a twin-turbo V6 with 3 electric motors churning out 573 horsepower. It did 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. It had 4-wheel torque vectoring that gave it wet road composure most Italian exotics could not match. The price started at $157,000. Ferrari's comparable options cost significantly more. And this is the part that really hurt. The NSX came with a standard warranty and required no specialist servicing to keep running. Ferrari and Lamborghini owners were spending thousands every year just in maintenance costs. NSX owners were driving theirs to work. The NC1 was hand-assembled at Honda's Performance Manufacturing Center in Ohio. Total global production stayed under 2,000 units across its entire 2016 to 2022 run, making it rarer than many Ferraris. Some journalists called it too composed, too clinical for a supercar. But when a car posts those numbers at that price with that reliability record, clinical starts sounding like a compliment. European supercar brands had no clean answer for it. They still do not. Honda proved Japan could build a proper supercar, but Toyota had a different kind of comeback in mind, one with a very famous name attached and a very controversial engine under the hood. 4. The Toyota GR Supra A90. The A80 Supra from the 1990s is still one of the most tuned cars in automotive history. So when Toyota announced the A90 in 2019, expectations expectations were enormous. Then came the reveal. The engine was from BMW, a B58 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-six, co-developed with BMW and built at a shared facility in Graz, Austria. The internet was not happy, but then the tuners got to work. The B58 responded to modifications exceptionally well, and owners were regularly seeing 500-plus horsepower from relatively simple upgrades. The stock car already made 382 horsepower and hit 60 miles per hour in around 3.9 seconds. On a track, it kept up with cars priced significantly higher, which was exactly what Toyota intended. Over its production run, Toyota made steady upgrades, including adding a manual gearbox option in 2023, which immediately became the enthusiast preferred choice. But the partnership is now officially ending. Toyota announced a final edition for 2025 with just 100 units for the US market, priced at $69,085. They disappeared almost immediately. The next Supra will reportedly ride on a Toyota-developed platform with a hybrid powertrain, completely separate from BMW. What that car will feel like is the question every Supra fan is currently asking. Toyota knew how to bring back a legend, but Subaru had spent years building something that never needed to come back because it never went away quietly enough to disappear in the first place. 5. The Subaru WRXS-TIVA. The Subaru WRXS-TIVA generation ran from 2014 to 2021, and it was built on one idea: put World Rally Championship technology into a car anyone could buy and drive to work on Monday. The STI did not need sophisticated electronics to embarrass expensive rivals. It used mechanical grip, rally-tuned suspension, and a flat 4 engine note so distinctive it became a sound car culture, built an entire identity around. BMW M3 and Mercedes AMG C63 owners occasionally pulled up to track days and left confused about where their price premium went. The STI's death in 2022 hit the enthusiast community hard. Subaru replaced it with a turbocharged WRX, but dropped the STI badge and the performance-focused tuning that came with it. The uproar was immediate and loud. Petitions circulated, forums exploded, and the used prices for clean VASTs went up because people understood immediately that the original formula was gone. Subaru has since hinted at a return of the STI name on a new performance variant, but nothing concrete has been confirmed. The wait continues, but while Subaru fans were grieving, Mazda was quietly proving that you do not always need massive power to make the entire industry rethink what a sports car should be. 6. The Mazda MX-5 Miata ND. In 2015, the industry consensus was clear. Affordable sports cars were finished. SUVs had won. Mazda did not agree. The ND Miata arrived at roughly 2,300 pounds, making it one of the lightest production sports cars at any price point. The ND made 181 horsepower, which on paper sounds modest, but the near 50-50 weight distribution, the rear-wheel drive layout, the short-throw manual gearbox, and the chassis tuning created a driving experience that cars with twice the power could not replicate. Reviewers consistently placed it alongside cars costing far more whenever pure driving engagement was the subject. European roadster rivals watched their sales figures and started quietly adjusting their pricing strategies. By 2025, Miata sales jumped 7.7% year over year, reaching 8,727 units. The soft-top roadster variant alone surged nearly 20%. Part of that spike came from buyers purchasing early due to anticipated tariff increases. Consumer Reports ranked it the most reliable sports car in its segment. The ND generation has been running for over a decade and still attracts waiting lists at dealerships. The next generation is confirmed. Mazda is targeting a curb weight under 2,205 pounds. That is lighter than the current car. The rivals that dismissed the Miata as a niche product are now trying to figure out how to respond to a decade of consistent dominance. Mazda kept it simple and won, but Lexus took a completely different approach, walking straight into Germany's most expensive neighborhood and making themselves comfortable. 7. The Lexus LC 500 BMW, Mercedes-AMG, and Audi had spent decades convincing buyers that genuine luxury grand tours required a German badge. Then Lexus parked the LC 500 next to them in 2018 and charged less for more. It had a naturally aspirated 5.0-liter V8, 471 horsepower, 10-speed automatic, and a design so striking it collected awards before a single journalist had turned a wheel in it. With a starting price around $93,000, it sat meaningfully below comparable German alternatives, offering similar or lower performance figures. As German manufacturers moved towards smaller turbocharged engines and hybrid systems, Lexus kept a naturally aspirated V8 running. That engine, that sound, became the thing reviewers kept coming back to. It is not something you can replicate with a turbocharged 4-cylinder and a synthetic soundtrack piped through speakers. The reliability gap made it worse for the competition. Lexus ranked consistently among the top 2 most dependable global automotive brands. LC 500 owners reported dramatically lower annual running costs than equivalent BMW 8 Series and Mercedes Mercedes AMG GT owners. That cost difference over 5 years of ownership quietly became one of the strongest arguments against buying German in that segment. The LC500 is still in production in 2025, still underpriced, and Germany still has no clean answer. These are the 7 cars that made the world watch carefully at what Japan was doing. 7 moments where Japan walked into a room it was not supposed to own and left with everything. The world had every chance to see it coming, but most of the automakers were just too comfortable to look up in time.